going to show you, without the use of herbicides or power equipment, how to contain or eradicate a clump of aspen using simple mechanical methods, say, such as my thumbnail or a table knife that's been modified by cutting it off and sharpening the end, or even a utility pry bar that you can pick up at the hardware store. To understand the rationale behind this method, you need to understand the biology of a clone. A clone is actually not a collection of individual plants and stems, but rather all connected to one large underground root system. So to kill that clone, you need to starve the roots. And to do that, you interrupt the flow of nutrients from the leaves to the roots by stripping off a ring of the inner bark and leaving the sapwood or heartwood intact. With that ring of bark gone, then nutrients are not replaced from the roots or from the leaves to the roots, but they do continue to flow from the roots up to the leaves. So eventually, over the course of a couple of growing seasons, the stem dies and robs the root system of nutrients. To eradicate a clone, then you need to kill every stem in that clone, including the very little ones. A small sapling, small stem like this, you can girdle the bark with your thumbnail. Stripping it off like that. The idea of girdling is that you do not signal to the root system that the stem has been damaged, as you would if you were to cut the stem off with a saw, as long as you don't damage the inner bark. For a larger stem like this, you can use this modified table knife, which you can take from your kitchen cupboards or even go to the surplus store and buy them cheaply. We make these in our own shop. We cut off the top, sharpen it, and then put a little curve in it so it slides around the stem. Again, the idea is to get under the inner bark. And this is only possible during a certain time period in the spring here in North America, after the stem has flowered and after the leaves are fully expanded, which signals that the nutrients are going up to the top and also going down to the root system. So you slide this knife around the stem. This time of year, the bark slips off very easily, sort of like this knife used to cut through butter. I'm also stripping the bark back away on both ends so that over the course of the season the bark doesn't grow over and heal, and that would defeat the purpose of the girdle. So we have a nice undamaged sapwood here. The inner bark has been removed. This is the section that transports the nutrients from the leaves to the roots. This section transports the nutrients from the roots upward to the leaves. So over the course of a couple seasons, the stem actually starves to death. If you get all of the stems in the clone, then you will have eradicated it. For a larger stem like this, we use a larger tool. And it's important in doing this to get below the last branching stem. Some people like to be neater in this process, and they'll take a handsaw and cut a ring around up here and cut a ring here and then strip off the bark. I'm obviously not following that approach. This is a technique that all restorationists that have to deal with clonal species should be familiar with. And I like it because it can be done just by one person. If you have a short staff or you're with a few spare minutes on a day during the girdling season, you can send someone out, and in an hour they can girdle perhaps 100 stems. So there you have it. We have stripped off the inner bark, left intact and undamaged the sapwood. The stem does not know that it's been damaged because the apical bud has not been removed. So the plant is going to continue to send from the root system nutrients up to the leaves, but with this inner bark gone, it won't be able to return the nutrients to the roots. So over the course of the couple seasons, this stem will die, and over the course of the next few weeks, we will girdle all of the stems in this clone and then eradicate it and then move on to another clone. In future videos, we'll show you how to make these girdles.